Hi Maureen, hi Brittany. Hi Catherine, hi Gail. Hi everyone, it's Sandy. It's time for a full moon rose reading and I'm just working with the alchemy bowls this evening. There's something wonderful about working with sound and how it allows us to just come into a centered place and let the journey of the day this far release and just allow for everything to just be. This is one of the things that I think that we're really learning, to be fully present to what's unfolding and allow the beingness that we all embrace to be the radiance that enables us to go forward. So the main bowl I'm playing this evening is a grandmother apophyllite, a grandmother and apophyllite alchemy bowl. And she works with the sacral chakra and she works with the adrenals. And so many of us have had our adrenals somewhat hammered in this last 12 months at least. I know for many it's been a tough journey. So we find ourselves with a full moon in Leo at 6 degrees of Leo, and powerful point, the first full moon of 2021, another calling really to ask us what in our lives has come to culmination. What have we brought this far that actually has had its voice, it's had its past, and it's had its place of integration for us. You know, the new moons and the full moons offer us that pulse point. They offer us an opportunity to pause and say, actually, what is there now that has been part of my journey that actually has given me all of the gifts that it needs to have brought, and that I can let that bit go, or I can integrate it in a different way. And this full moon in Leo obviously is with the sun in Aquarius. So this journey and this dance is very much about the integration. Leo, that really beautiful heart, solar energy that is so much about loving self, and it's in a direct dance with Aquarius and this massive lineup of planets that are gathering in Aquarius. So we've got Saturn, Sun, we've got Jupiter, Mercury, and the asteroid Pallas Athena. So there's a lot of energy in that segment of the chart, all opposite, all dancing with the moon. So there is a real sense of the calling to integrate a deepening sense of appreciation for self, and a place in which that humanitarian energy, which is so much the Aquarius when it's in its fullness, inspires from us. There is this place of integration. Many of you that follow me on my personal Facebook page will have seen a post that I put up yesterday, that I'd gone to the local post office and stood, parked my car and went to stand in the queue because, at least a couple of times a week I'm shipping out the Rose Oracles or the oils or the essences or whatever. So I'm stood in the queue and the woman in front of me turns around. Now that doesn't normally happen in the queue, right? Because people are masked up and people are very closed, very shut down in their sense of presence in the world right now, or in many cases they are. And the woman in front of me swung around and she said, "Sandy." And I went, "Yes." And she pulled her mask down and she said, "It's Lisa." And this was a woman that had worked with me in my, again, as many of you know, I had 20 years as a couture wedding dress designer. And I worked with silk and antique French textile. And it was my 20 years of being fully immersed in the human dream, if you like, into this dance of polarities and the recognition that the heart is our attractor factor that attracts to us the people and the experiences and the opportunities that we bring forward in life, and nothing can come to us that is not in resonance with the frequency of the heart. So Lisa showing up in the queue in the outside the post office, because obviously we're all queuing up the road outside the post office, was just extraordinary. And and the queue actually moved really fast. So whereas some days it's a pretty slow process, and so we've agreed that we will meet up and walk locally next week to have a catch up, because it's got to be over 25 years since I've seen her and 30 years since we worked together. But of course, what it brought back for me was this whole journey that I took in a very different field of creative expression than I do right now. And it brought me back in when I got home to look at very briefly into my archive of photographs, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of photographs of different people's wedding dresses that I made over the years, and thank you letters and so on. I think that I've always seen that as like two different aspects of my experience here on the earth plane this time. It was 20 years of my work, but I really felt that there was a gift in actually the symbology of meeting Lisa in the queue in the post office, and what that actually showed me, of my journey, but through the lens of now. So the reason I'm sharing this story is that to invite you in this window, because this window of the full moon offers us the opportunity, of this connection into an appreciation of ourselves, which the Leo solar energy offers us, but also a recognition that actually when we come into our creative aspects and we share our creative aspects, of course, we're sharing our heart and our creative processes with the world, and hopefully through that inspire and uplift others through what we uniquely are able to bring. And I think this is one of the gifts that the full moon and the new moons offer us in that pulse pointing, but particularly this full moon in Leo. So what is there in your past that actually inspires you to come back in and have a look at it through the lens of now, through the lens of presencing now? Because I recognize for me, I wasn't as present to what I had, or as present to the gifts. Often we can see better when we look back down the timeline as to what we actually brought through in the uniqueness of our journey. So we come in now to this place of really beginning to integrate into this fullness of the energies of 2021. And what is it that we're actually calling forward to anchor fully here now? So, what else was I going to share? Yes, this week I caught the tail end of an offering that Tony Robbins was offering as a place of 2021 activation. And one of the things that I'm not a huge Tony Robbins fan, but I've got to understand him a little better through my pranic healing lineage. And there is a pranic healing master called Master Stephen Coe, who is doing meditation processes with Tony Robbins right now on a lot of his UPWs and so on. And one of the things that caught my attention, was he said, the quality of our lives is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty we can live with. And that felt so potent for this time, so potent for being able to carry our energy in stability, in that place of open presence, when we can actually come to that. The quality of our lives is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty we can live with. And we're being asked to be really totally awesomely okay with that right now. There is no certainty. The goalposts move on a daily basis sometimes, hourly basis sometimes, and certainly we are being asked to be steady and present to whatever is unfolding in this moment. Powerful, powerful times indeed. So let's see what the rosy wisdom might have for us as guidance that can aid to our steadfastness. Hi Serena, hi Ruth. And breathe. You know, this reminder in every moment just to bring our conscious attention back to the breath. That's all there is in that moment of presence. It means that we meet every action from a place of stillness, from a place of presencing within, rather than getting caught on the wheel, caught on the rim of the wheel of our lives, going from activity to activity. So, what might we have for rosy wisdom? And what might they say to us today? What might their whispered messages be? So we're asking for the wisdom of the roses. So the first rose that's come up this evening is Heart Star 3. And she is the blue ray of power that sits on the higher heart field. And she's one of the threefold flame roses that sits in the heart star. And she is the blue ray of power. And what we are called to do is to weave the power with the love, so that that sense of our presence and our love, and as an aspect of our beingness, has the most appropriate and aligned calling of action. When we know what our internal power is, we know when the mastery the highest path of the mastery is in silence, not in action. So this rose really calls us into the fullness of our mastery. As I say, she's the blue ray of power that sits in the higher heart chakra. And the higher heart chakra holds that threefold flame: the pink ray of love, the gold ray of wisdom, and the blue ray of power. And it's when we weave the blue ray of power with the pink ray of love that what is activated is the purifying ray of the violet flame, the alchemical, the purifying aspect that it allows for transformation, that activates the gold, activates the unified field from the duality. So this is the absolutely gorgeous power aspect of the threefold flame. So in this place of the reading, she's calling us to the right use of power and what our relationship is with power. So many of us have been focusing on the healing of the divine feminine, of the sacred feminine aspects of ourselves, the qualities of being, the qualities of nurture, the qualities of caring, the qualities of being fully present, the qualities of love, the qualities of connection and caring to Mother Earth, the qualities of being able to be a loving presence for our loved ones and our families. When we hold that frequency, the inner masculine qualities that can hold us, can just so gracefully hold us, come into right action too. And this is the higher aspect of the inner masculine that comes in and merges and creates the inner marriage within. Let's see what the second rose is. Oh, hi, Joanne. Yes. And hi, Sunny. Hi. So let's see what the second rose is that wants to come forward today. These are beautiful roses that we're getting for the reading today. So we've got Rose Bagua 4. And Rose Bagua 4 sits in the position in the Bagua of wealth and blessings. She's calling us to really acknowledge, sit with, and to give thanks for all of the wealth and blessings that we have in our lives. And wealth isn't necessarily financial. Wealth could be the fact that you've been blessed by a teaching. You could have been blessed by the loving presence of your family. This is the effortless place of the gold. This is the opening to receive. And what we know, and I'll go back to what I was sharing about the attractor factor of the heart, when we can stay in appreciation, when we can stay in loving appreciation for ourselves, so here we go with the solar Leo full moon, when we can stay in loving appreciation for ourselves, then what matches us on the external is a loving appreciation from those around us. So you can start to see where the reading is placing us in this full moon in Leo, in this beautiful sense of presence and power and this opening to abundance. Powerful, powerful energies to be working with on this full moon. Hi, Julie. So I've seen some familiar faces coming in, which is really, really lovely. And I'm doing this a little bit earlier than I normally do this evening because at 7 o'clock I'm doing a 2021 visioning webinar. So It's a busy evening, but I didn't want to miss doing this this reading. So what might be the third rose that wants to come forward for this? So we have Rose 8. Rose 8 sits in the heart, and she is, I mean, you can see her, she's like coral, right? And if you look very closely, you'll see that actually right in here, really as the temple guardian to the Holy of Holies, the inner heart of the rose, here is the divine feminine in the cloaking of the Divine Mother. And she sits as the guardian at the gateway into the Holy of Holies. And this rose sits in the back heart chakra. She's, you know, you can see her strength. She's like coral, actually. She's got a real sense of strength to her. And she says, just rest into me. I've got your back. Just rest into me. She's a powerful, powerful ally to work with, particularly if you've got any issues around your musculoskeletal system. You can see from the corally aspect of her, I've worked with her with the rose as a rose mat, healing bones, working with people that have got broken bones or have had knee replacements. This rose is a very, very good energy to work with. But she just says, you know, just rest into me. Allow your radiant heart to be fully open. There is nothing to fear. Just rest into me. So perfect, perfect roses for this full moon at 6 degrees of Leo. This Leo and that beautiful heart, that solar heart energy that is Leo. Opposite the stellium of energies that are in Aquarius. And as a solar Aquarius myself, I'm really aware of the energies cooking in Aquarius just now. So as I say, there's Saturn, the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and Mercury will go retrograde in a couple of days' time. She's stationed retrograde at the moment. When she's stationing, the energies and the symbology are more intense than they are in the rest of the retrograde period. So just be aware of what's around. And you know what she will be asking you to review, to recalibrate, you know, all of the words, renew, recharge. Look and see what message that Mercury has for you at this point, because this is such a potent time in really us gathering all of the gifts and the inner work that we've done through our journey in 2020. What has that really meant for you? What has shifted? What is shifted in your inner landscape? Let alone what's going on in the outer landscape, but what's shifted in your inner landscape, and what really matters to you now? What is the shift in what is of import? What has value for you? So the roses in this particular reading are calling us perhaps to remember our inner power, to call upon the blue ray within the higher heart, to weave and dance with this frequency of love that we're being asked to hold. There is so much more photonic light coming onto the planet. We are being accelerated as we move into this year, and the clearer and the more aligned we are, the brighter the light that we can hold for our loved ones and for humanity. The brighter the light we hold, the greater the shift for the collective. So from that place of owning your own power, owning your own sense of self, and reminding yourself of your abundance, your natural abundance, wealth and blessings, and how that adds to the field of gold in your life. And again, I'll go back to the attractor factor of the heart. If you are holding the field of gold within you, and this is what all of this inner work is that we might do with any teacher. It's to let go of the baggage, let go of the lead, let go of the stories, for us to activate the rose heart or the golden heart, which in turn activates the golden light body. This was any of the work that the mystery schools were asking. This field of gold is the field of plenty. Yeah, this is our birthright, is the field of gold, and to be able to live within that field of gold. So she's calling you to it. You can see she's effortless. Oodles and oodles of golden, radiant light within her. And Rose 8 saying the inner, the sacred feminine within is the guardian of the gateway of the Holy of Holies. The honouring of Mother Earth, the honouring of the divine feminine is what is being called for in the awakening of humanity. Until the divine feminine is honoured, until Mother Earth is honoured, until the qualities of the divine feminine are honoured, we will not have peace and we will not have healing. She is the power that we seek, and as we own her, as we engage with her, so the inner masculine has to move to his highest in sacred dance, in sacred union with her. So this is beautiful, beautiful work. And she says, I have got your back. Rest into me. Know that all is well. So there we are. Our rose blessings for this particular reading. And I'll play you out with the beautiful grandmother and apophyllite alchemy bowl. She who holds the golden light. So thank you for joining me, and wishing you the blessings of this full moon in Leo. And as I say, look at what is calling for integration, look at what has come to its culmination, even if it's a thought form. And yeah, go well. With love and rosy blessings. Bye for now.